Hi guys, Victoria here. Welcome back to my channel, and 10 weeks postpartum, I think I'm finally ready to take you through my labour and birth video. So one thing that I learnt was that although I had every intention of vlogging the whole way through, I'm number one, not a very experienced vlogger, and number two, as a first time mum, I very much got caught up in the moment, which I think is what I was meant to do. And so we actually have very little footage of the actual hospital experience, but we did manage to capture little tiny bits of each bit. So I'm going to talk you through the video and then just insert those clips where they're appropriate. Someone woke up from a little nap as soon as they heard me start talking. So looks like he's here with us for the video. So for anybody that didn't know, I went to 42 weeks with my pregnancy. I had two failed sweeps and then was induced, induced with a pessary. When I went into hospital, for the induction, it was right in the middle of the second COVID lockdown, so we weren't sure what was going to happen, but Adam was allowed to be in the hospital with me. So we went in together and we had to wait for them to monitor Isaac's heart rate to check that they could get a reading on what was sort of normal and stable for him, but his heart rate was all over the place, which was really, really unusual for him. So they couldn't find a baseline, so I sat in hospital with them trying to get a baseline for about 7 hours before we finally got the baseline that they needed, and they were then able to induce me. So here is a little bit of footage of that. Hi guys, just a little update for you. We are on our way into the hospital to be induced. Hang on, we're dealing with roadworks. Anyway, new road layout, Huntingdon Road. Yeah, so we're off to be induced. I've had two sweeps that haven't done anything. We're now at 42 weeks, so I'm off it. I've got my raspberry leaf tea, and how are you feeling?
Good.
And it's lockdown number 2 started yesterday. But thankfully we're in such a low risk area. Our hospital's been really good, and Adam's still allowed in for visiting hours from 8 till 8. So he can come in with me today and then come back tomorrow if nothing has happened. And if I go into labour at any point and he's not here, he can come in. It has a little wristband. So I feel so much better about it knowing that's the case and not having to go in on my own. And I feel for all those mamas who've had to do that, it'd be horrible. But yeah, I'll keep you updated and see you soon, guys. Bye. I've got my wristband. Don't know if you can see that. But yeah, we're in, being monitored, and keep you updated.
Very helpful.
So it's pretty late on and my waters are broken, so I'm just lying down being monitored, and hopefully this means that some stuff is going to start happening. But yeah, Adam had to go home, but it could be ages, it could be pretty soon. I'm having some contractions, and they're pretty regular, but they're also pretty manageable, so I think we've still got a little way to go, but we'll keep you updated. So Adam actually went home after I was induced. I stayed in hospital. One of the midwives actually gave me the option to go home. I said that I thought I might, and Adam thankfully said, no, I think you should stay here. Everything happened so quickly when it finally happened that if we had come home, I think realistically we would have ended up having either a home birth or an emergency situation in the car on the way to the hospital. So thankfully I stayed in, and at about 5 hours after I was induced, my waters broke. So then I was in this really awful situation where my waters had broken, my contractions had started, and they came on really, really quick. Actually, after that piece of footage that you've just seen where I said, oh, there'll be little contractions here and there, it actually then, from that point, just went completely out of control, and I was having contractions about every 2 minutes. So we progressed really, really quickly. Basically, one of the midwives didn't believe me. She kept saying, no, go and write down all of your contractions, go and see how long. And I was saying, no, honestly. And she said, no, if you were in labour, you wouldn't be able to walk. And I kept sort of walking down and saying to her, look, I'm really sure I'm in labour. I think I need to call my partner and we need to go to delivery suite. And she was saying, no, if you were really in labour, you'd be in much more pain than you are. And I was saying, no, I've got a really high pain threshold. Trust me, I'm in labour. So in the end, I actually went and got a different midwife, and I said to her, look, I need to be examined. I'm pretty sure I'm in labour. She came and examined me and said I was 5 centimetres dilated, having contractions every minute, and that I needed to be rushed as a matter of urgency down to the delivery suite and to call Adam. So I called him and said, get here as quickly as you can, and they whisked me down in a wheelchair to the delivery suite. Adam arrived. I don't think I've ever been more relieved to see him in my life, because by that point the contractions were so strong and so frequent, and as a first time mum I just had no idea whether a baby was imminent or 20 hours away. So I was so worried about him missing anything, and as soon as I saw his face come in the door I thought, oh my god, thank god, whatever happens now, at least we're both here to deal with it together. So my birth plan was to be very open-minded, because one thing I'd learned from a lot of my friends was that, you know, you can't predict what's going to happen. You can have your ideal scenario, but at the end of the day, you'll do whatever you need to get your baby here happy and healthy. So that was really the plan, but I didn't really want to have much or any, if possible, medication. I wanted a completely unmedicated and unassisted natural birth. And I'm very, very lucky to say that that is pretty much what I got. I used gas and air to get through some of my contractions, and I actually found the gas and air really useful just for managing breath. So a lot of the time I wasn't even breathing in the gas and air, I was just breathing out through the tube in order to make sure that I really held that long breath to deal with the contractions. Really just tried to trust my body. My midwife was great, and she kept saying to me, trust your body, lean into it, you can do this, blah, 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 all the positive things that you needed to hear. And about an hour and 15 minutes after we arrived in delivery suite, she said to me, do you feel like pushing? And I said, yeah, I think we should start pushing. And 15 minutes later, this happened.
You're doing really well. Baby's nearly here.
Baby's nearly here. Oh.
Well done. Look at my gorgeous boy. He's perfect, isn't he?
Oh my god, sweetheart. Hi. So this is where I'm so grateful to Adam for taking those 2 little clips, one of me with the gas and air, and the video just after he was born. But then we did take a few more videos of some special moments and some pictures that I've just put into a little collection for you now. couple of sort of takeaways, because I only do this YouTube channel because when I was pregnant, first time pregnancy, first time mum in lockdown UK, no classes that we can go to, not many people around me that are in the same situation. I really relied on these YouTube videos, and I can't tell you how many I watched that were based around unmedicated births and natural labours and blah blah blah. And I'm so grateful for all of those videos because they really made me feel like I could do it and made me feel that it was possible for me to approach birth with control and not, I don't think there's anything you can do, by the way, to guarantee that you get the birth that you want. I have heard of a lot of people who tried lots of techniques and it worked, and a lot of people who tried lots of techniques and it didn't. But I do think you can approach birth and labour with a method of control and empowerment and a lack of fear. And I think that's what I was really able to do. I knew that I wanted to be upright throughout my birth, and I was able to do that. So I was either standing up or kneeling on the bed for the whole thing. And that, I think, really helped just with gravity and everything like that, because with him being born so quickly and essentially so easily, it was sort of exactly what I wanted. And actually, I think being up and moving around helped me feel in control. Whereas at one point the midwife said, "Oh, do you want to turn around now and lie on your back?" And I was like, no, I don't want to. I feel like, I don't know, I would feel so inactive and out of control if I was lying down. So I stayed upright for the whole thing. And those few first moments of holding him was so special. And yeah, that was it. So that, Isaac, was our birth experience 10 whole weeks ago. I've been recording lots of other information about postpartum and life with a newborn, haven't we? So with this little funny face, can you see yourself? Can you see yourself in there? What is that? What is that? Do you see him? Do a feed. So I've done a couple more videos on postpartum recovery and my journey with breastfeeding, which has been a journey and continues to be a journey, but I would love to share that with you as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe to my channel, and I can't wait to catch up with you guys soon, and leave a comment below so that I know that you've watched it and let me know your thoughts. Take care, guys.